Subscribe if you enjoy, please.
Hey. What am I eating? Where's that? I'm eating canes. My hair care routine, I use this curl enhancing smoothie. Oh man, I'm so exhausted. Cop caller? Who did I call the cops on? I don't call the cops on anyone. I don't have a girlfriend. I didn't get anyone arrested. Guys, if you didn't see my recent posts, then do not talk about things. Go look at my recent posts. I'm not talking about anything. I never said that, so maybe we shouldn't address it here. Like I said, I'm not talking about that anymore. I didn't get anyone arrested. It was a post somewhere that someone said something, and I just addressed that I didn't do that. That was it. That was all. There's no sense in defending. I didn't do anything to anyone. I don't know the whole situation of what happened. I just know that I don't know if it was people from TikTok, because I don't really, so I have to be careful. No, actually, it's crazy. I didn't have no breakfast, no dinner. The only thing I had yesterday was Burger King, and the only thing I had today was Cane's. I haven't been eating. I don't know, I just haven't had, I've been feeling like I'm full and can't eat, so I don't know what's going on. For attention, but you must not know. Obviously. You do know how to read, right? I guess some people can't read videos or can't read. I'm eating canes. I haven't really eaten much of anything since yesterday. I ate Burger King. That's all I ate, and I ate that around lunchtime. And then today, I was in a hurry because I had to go somewhere, and I didn't eat breakfast. I just went out the door, and then I wasn't gonna get canes because I was like, nah, I don't want to get it. And I was like, I'll get it. I didn't feel like eating. I was like, I gotta eat something. So I just been having horrible sleep. Everything's just been horrible. How's my mental health going? Not good. Yesterday, so someone was in very bad, it was very bad, really bad pain. And so I had to go to the emergency room because the person, they took their night meds and it makes them sleepy. So I had to make sure they didn't fall asleep at the wheel. And then I waited a while because they waited for a while, and then it was taking too long for the results. So then the person was like, you guys can leave. I just nodded off twice in the emergency room. And then finally when we got home, it was like 1 o'clock last night. And so I was going to try to go live, but I'm like, I can't even. I'm tired. It was a lot. This person was bad pain. I was like, I didn't know what to do. Just like crying, really horrible pain. It was not good. And then I came home and it was 1 o'clock. I went to sleep, but I've just been having these nightmares. Crazy out of nowhere. And then, so, well, I got new stuff I have to share with the therapist. Because I know if I don't talk about this stuff, therapy is not going to work unless I'm not open. And I bottle things up. So, man, there's always something new. And it's like a setback. Well, if I don't do that, am I really working on my mental health? It's been a lot. I've been exhausted. I just want to sleep all day, but I have to get up. I don't have a choice. Else I would just be in bed all day. 1 minute I'm doing fine, and then the next minute I'm just like, think of something, and then I start crying. And then I'm back at it again. It's like a setback. Because we're supposed to move forward with therapy, right? And the tips and stuff are supposed to help me. But then I'm like, there's always something, and now it's a setback. And now this set me back, and I don't know anything that's going on, to be honest with you. No, guys, I'm not talking about Kayleen, and I'm not talking about StudChu or whatever you want to call her. That's not who I'm talking about, guys. And we're not talking about this person on this live. I already made a video post, so please do not come in this live and talk about it. I know I posted videos, but I was upset, and I just gotta let things settle. To reiterate, I didn't get anyone arrested. The person snapped. I really don't know. When something is happening that's putting your family in danger, I 100% understand why people look at people and just like everyone's a suspect. And it was a situation that happened. I don't know what happened with the police. I don't know anything that basically happened. All I know is that they said someone tried to get them arrested. I don't know, because I know in some parts of the post they were referring to me. And I guess they saw something on my live that I said, which it's my own fault, but whatever. Well, it's not whatever because it's a situation, but I had to address it, which I didn't have to address it. I shouldn't have made any videos, but I did because I was upset because in partial of the post, the person had literally said that nobody died, so I don't know if they were talking to me. And I got a little hurt because my brother was a victim of a violent crime. And they just know how to hit people where it hurts. I had to hope that, and how am I going to explain it to my mom? Hey, mom, because my mom's seen the stuff I posted, and how am I going to explain to her who said that and be like, Mom, guess what? And then that's really going to hurt her. And I can't really say anything. And my mom's like, well, I wish you would tell me what's going on. And I'm like, well, I can't tell her. She met this person and be like, well, you don't know what's going on, so clearly I'm not going to explain it. Actually, I really wasn't going to say anything. I was upset, so I didn't realize that I had shared that, and right now was not a good time to share it because it's not, how do I say it? It's not very safe to share that. But since it's already out there, there's nothing I can do about it. I can't take back what I said, so now people know. And I was just trying to be cautious and not sharing that about myself because it's a very uncomfortable situation and it was not safe for me to share that. And so I can't really take that back and say, well, no, it's already out there. You guys know now. But yeah, like I said, I'm not talking about anyone on the side. I'm not mentioning anybody. I don't want to. I put in that post the emotional stuff I shared when I was emotional, which is 100% true, that I'm not going to be talking about the situation unless it is settled privately, which the person hasn't answered, so that's okay. And for people saying that you're being weird, first of all, you don't know the whole situation. It's a very scary, very dangerous situation, and to put me in a situation where they're saying I'm involved with dangerous people puts me in harm's way. And to not care is what hurts. Because how are you not going to care? I already have PTSD and all of this other stuff. Now I have to worry because it's whatever people did on TikTok has nothing to do with me. I've already told people, if someone's doing something to you, those are not my fans. I specifically told people to stop, and no one didn't want to take it seriously. Now people want to be all in my comment sections being like, now that this whole situation blew up, they were like, well, you guys should have left it alone. It's too late for that. Where was everyone when I asked people to stop? They thought this was jokes. They thought this was serious. For me, I got to protect my safety now. I got to worry about my safety being in danger. Because I'm being linked to some dangerous people that I didn't even do anything. The place that I'm at, to be honest with you, where I'm at, I can't really explain too much because I don't want to dox myself. They know the place that I'm at. I don't have time to do any of that. There's just a lot going on. I dropped the remote. And to be honest, I really don't want to talk about them or talk about this situation because I'm not going to go back and forth. I'm not doing the social media back and forth. Like I said, I just posted that video and that's that. If people want to say that I got someone arrested, then go ahead. Just because you don't know how to read properly. That's not what happened. Someone said something, I don't know, they were talking about several people. I don't know. I know partial of it was talking about me, but I don't talk to police. I've never done that as far as the unaliving goes. I wouldn't do that to somebody. I don't know. I'm just very confused at the whole thing because I'm like, what's going on. Some about donations, money. I don't have no money. I'm broke. I don't receive money from anyone to do anything. Whatever issues people got, that's theirs. My issues are my issues. And I gotta be concerned. My mom's being bullied at the shelter. And I'm trying to get our housing going. I received a letter in the mail, so finally that's moving along. And my mom is upset, so at least that gives her some bit of happiness. The housing is slowly moving. And I'm just exhausted. I'm tired. Well, no, not every day because I don't have money to eat fast food every day. Yesterday, someone bought me Burger King because somebody that works there, nobody said anyone was forcing me to talk about this. So anyways, it's like a worker that's singling her out for no reason. And I don't know what's going on because she made these shamrock numbers and she gave them to everyone. And she skipped my mom on purpose. And my mom witnessed this couple was abusing a dog and she told the workers and they didn't care. They weren't giving the dog water. They weren't taking the dog out to the restroom and she said the dog needs to go. They ignored her and the dog peed on the mattress, on the mat. It's like a mat, whatever. Peed in the bed. And then the dog was thirsty and she said, you need to give the dog water. And they said, we did. And they didn't give the dog water. It's just been a bunch of stuff. She doesn't really have much to do because she can't get out because she's in a walker and it's hard for her to get anywhere by bus. And so they've been trying to help her get into something that can take her until we get a place. But it's a lot of excuses. It's a lot of people not wanting to help. So I just broke down. I had to call the lady that had my case, but she had to end up dropping it. And so I'm very tired. Oh, I went today somewhere and did something, so that's why I'm exhausted. But that's just basically everything that's been going on. So my mom has been singled out by this lady. And so I told her, I was like, we need to figure out that we were supposed to get in right away, and we didn't. Well, I can't deactivate my account because I have a transaction going through. Because I'm supposed to get paid on the 15th, it won't allow me to deactivate the account because it says you have a transaction. It says either empty out your wallet or pay whatever you owe. I don't owe anything on TikTok. So it's the transaction that I'm getting paid on the 15th. So on the 15th when I get paid, I'm just going to temporarily deactivate it. So that's just basically what happened. I know I didn't get paid on the 15th last time, so if it doesn't go through, then it's not set to pay, which means I could deactivate it, I hope. If not, then I won't be able to deactivate it. I don't want to delete the whole account. Well, I have to deactivate it. Basically, TikTok put someone in danger. I got blamed. I don't know the whole situation. I don't even know. I asked people to leave this person alone. Obviously, they didn't. It got worse. Something I said on my live stream upset them, rightfully so, and they snapped on Facebook. I have posted a couple of videos, but like I said, I'm not talking about the situation anymore. Because right now, my mental health is more important than anything, and I gotta fix that. I'm dealing with my depression. And people in the comments saying, oh, you're just seeking attention, you just want them to feel bad. No, because they don't care. My mental health is messed up, and I'm not saying this stuff for them to care because I know they don't care. They're angry. They're very mad. My mental health isn't important because obviously their family's important because their family's being put in danger. So obviously I would understand. I do understand being angry. But like I said, I tell people this isn't what you want. You don't understand my social media. They're like, oh, I don't care. And then look what happens. And then social media gets involved, and then that's basically... And people never listen. Nobody said you were my therapist, so if you don't want to listen, you could leave. I don't blame nobody. I don't blame anyone. If you think this is blaming, then you need to get a life. First of all, I don't involve myself with people like that, dangerous people. And I'm not going to say the whole situation. I literally... To be honest, they posted on Facebook what was going on, in the midst of saying something about me. I didn't put anyone's business out there. They did on Facebook. I only addressed what pertains to me. To literally say that I put someone's business out there, I didn't even know the whole situation of them getting arrested until I saw that Facebook post. And I don't really go to their social media pages like that, to be honest. I don't go and look at their stuff, but something said, you need to go check. And the only thing I addressed was what I felt was pertaining to me. If it was not, then my bad. But to accuse me, the only time my mom called the police, and that was not what they were saying, but I'm just reiterating. The only time I was supposed to talk to police was because someone tried to release a video of my dead brother and they were going to blur it out, and my mom freaked out and she called, and a detective was supposed to call me back, and I told her not to do that. I said, Mom, you can't do that, and I don't have time to be waiting around for a detective to call me in the middle of me having to do something important. And they never contacted me, so the detective never got back. And I literally told her that, and she didn't listen. That was a waste of time because they never contacted me back. She was trying to stop people from posting that video, but the police can't stop them unless they know who they are. And if we don't know who they are, then I don't know. You know what I mean? I am not selfish. The police will not help us. You do not understand. The police don't help anybody. They're only going to tell people to file police reports, and then people are going to get away with stuff. And then that's how the cycle repeats. How many times do I have to file a police report for them to do something? It's been like, what, 7 or 8 police reports I've already filed with the police over this harassment, and it still hasn't stopped. It's not being selfish. Why am I going to call these people? You know what happens when you call to file a police report? They come when they can, because every other call is a priority. So if someone is in danger, they're going to attend to that person first. They're going to attend to that person first before they show up to talk to you to file a police report. So if there's something more serious, it may take them days before they even show up to even file a police report. I know that because I filed police reports before. And I filed them while they was there, since people called the police and they showed up. And I said, well, since they're here, I'll just file a police report. That way I don't have to wait for days, because that's how that works. You can't just call them and they show up because you called them. They don't come right away. And especially if it's a non-serious emergency, you're supposed to call 242 cops. And the non-serious emergency number, that's what they say, well, they'll show up when they can. They got other calls, and I understand that. So I didn't waste anyone's time. I didn't call the cops. That's what I'm telling you my mom did, because someone tried to share a video. I didn't call the cops. I have never called the cops, except for certain situations, like when we were homeless and I heard this girl screaming for help. Yes. And then I had to call the cops because of the carjacking. And then I called the cops because this guy was swerving down the road and I think waved a gun at me. And it was very dangerous, and I couldn't let him drive and get someone hurt. And then another guy was drunk, and he parked, and he almost hit the wall. He was parked at a restaurant, Stripes, and he was drunk driving because he had a big old bottle, and he was like, look, and he was like, gonna drive like that, and I'm like, oh no. So I had to call the police. Otherwise, I don't really have contact with police pertaining to my situation, because I know 9 times out of 10, they ain't gonna show up. They're just gonna tell me to file a police report. I'm gonna do that, and then nothing ever gets done. So, hi. So, I don't involve myself with people. I don't know what's going on for you. That person knew me. Not like we've known each other for a while. And I know I wasn't gonna talk about them, but I do wanna say, to literally think that of me, no amount of money, people could offer me $1 million and I still wouldn't do that. I don't take money like that. I said no money is good money. And you guys always know that on my live stream. I always say that 100% all the time. All money is not good money. I don't take fraudulent money. I don't take any money for anything. Whatever fraud people is committing, they could keep that over there. Over here, I earn my money the legal way. I can barely pay my storage. Temu is paying me in 15 business days. I get paid from TikTok to be able to pay my storage. I was out there hustling for the money to pay my storage, which I had to stop. And it's not hustling like that, and I have some other ways that I'm gonna try to earn money. I get it. Well, they still owe me $2,000, but they're paying me in $800 increments. So I approved the link. It wasn't set up properly, so I had to email them because I was like, wait, I don't think it's right, and I fixed it, and now it's right, so I'm gonna get paid. But I haven't accepted any donations. I haven't accepted money off of anyone's situation. I'm still homeless. The money I spend and use is the money that I earn from TikTok or what other people have. As far as, the casino thing, as far as the casino goes, the money that I used was money that I earned, which wasn't even much, or what I had made from the casino last time and I saved it. But I wasn't using my money at the casino, and someone wanted to offer, cool. But I don't want to come on here and give people's business, but I do have to explain that because that kind of bothered me. I get it. You see someone spending money and you're like, oh, where did that come from? And they saw where the money came from. They know. To literally go online and do that, implying I'm receiving money from somewhere. My PayPal, I don't do any of that. I stay far away from that. I'm not trying to go to jail for anyone. My mom is all I have. I'm not trying to commit any fraud. I don't need any money from anyone. I don't take any money from anyone to hurt anybody. I don't know who's saying things or what's going on. As far as TikTok goes, it's frustrating me because I asked you guys to stop and TikTok didn't help the situation because they said my TikTok crew, first of all, those are not my fans. I don't know how many times I have to get that through someone's head. If they are harassing somebody, they are also harassing me. And those are not my fans. Those are people that also don't like me that are harassing me. And I don't associate myself with those people. If you are putting people in danger, I don't associate myself with you. You are not a supporter. I like to tell you the truth. You say I don't know the whole situation. I know some stuff. But some things recently that are happening after the recent update I received, I don't know anything else. So whatever they're saying is news to me because I'm seeing it on Facebook. And for me, it's a little frustrating to be being so confused and reading all of that. It was a big old gigantic paragraph just talking about other people, says something, well, he basically says something about me. And when saying something about me kept on going, it was a run-on sentence. And it confused me because I'm like, well, are you talking about me? Or are you talking about other people? Says something about no one really died. I don't know what's going on. To literally care about someone as much as you did and to say that to someone you cared about was messed up. You can't say that you care about someone and you don't want to hurt them, but then you say something like that. It was in the news. The carjacking was in the news. My brother's friends showed up to his service. My brother's friend was devastated. My uncles were devastated. My mom was devastated. To care about somebody and have them say that to you, whether it was to me or not, that hurt. And not apologizing for it, that hurt. I apologized. I don't care. It made me think back to my friend, right, that's not alive. No matter how mad she got at me for something that I couldn't control. But she got mad because I didn't see her mom in the hospital before her mother passed away, but I never received the message. She says she sent the message. I showed her the phone that I never received it. And we worked things out. Whenever my friend got mad at me, it was never to the extent of, oh, that's it, I'm gone. If someone really claims they're your friend, and I'm not talking badly about people, but I'm talking, if you guys have friends and they say, oh, well, I'm your friend, and then just the slightest instant they cut you off and they're always cutting you off and then they don't talk to you or fix things, Is that really a friend, though? To be honest, you can't expect someone to be okay after saying that. And then expect me to be like, suck it up. It's for attention. And people literally say, here you go, using your brother's death for attention again. That was not the whole point of bringing up that my brother died and I couldn't bring him back. It was because that person had literally implied that nothing really happened, that it was all made up when it was in the news. I had to have pictures taken of me, stand there while they took pictures of me in that crime scene, white RV thing that they set up for the crime scene. The crime scene RV thing, I had to go in there. I had to stand there and have them take pictures of me. They said, we're gonna take any items that have blood, which is, they took my pants. I had to put on these paper pants, whatever they were, plastic pants. And I wore that when I went to eat because my uncle took me out, my uncles and my aunt took me out to eat because they were like, where do you want to go to eat? Because I sat in the back of a cop car for hours and they needed to investigate me. Ask me, well, not investigate me, but ask me questions about what happened. So I had to tell them everything that happened that this guy did and basically detail from the point where he drove off with my mom. And then I had a chaplain come talk to me and he just basically told me sorry for your loss. And at that point, I didn't know if I lost my mom and my brother and the guy was alive. I thought not my whole family because my dad was alive, but most of my family was dead. And at that point, I was just sitting in the cop car and he said, I can't tell you. I said, are they both dead? And he said, I can't tell you. The police have to tell you. So then I sat there for hours and I didn't know my mom was in the hospital alive. I already knew my brother was dead at that point. And I said he was missing an eye. But like I said, I didn't know if they both had died and the guy lived. And the cop was kind of rude because I got out of the car because it's cramped. And I need to get out and stretch because I was in the back of the cop car. And he was like, some lady came up and said what's going on, asked questions. And then, oh, thank you for the gift. And then he was like, see, that's why we stay in the car. And I was like, so I had to get back in the car because then people started asking questions. Then my aunt and uncle were just trying to process everything while they were there. Some people showed up and said, oh my God, Tophia. They were like, we're sorry this happened. And I'm like, not a care. You see that his family is here looking at the crime scene where I'm still trying to process. That is not real life. That I was in a carjacking and my brother was unalived. My mom was, I don't know what happened to my mom. I still didn't know until I got to the hotel room. They said, well, you're going to go see her in the hospital tomorrow. By nighttime, I didn't know anything until by nighttime. Every time I left the hotel room, it was hell. In the mornings were okay, but at night, thank you for the gifts. At night, I would just look real quick. I would just rush upstairs and I would go lay down because I was by myself. So they had me under an assumed name for safety reasons. This light and my eyes are really messing with me. And then I saw one night I came home and there was fire trucks and ambulances and that kind of triggered me and I was just like, and then I heard cars squealing. And that area, we've lived there before and we lived in that very same extended stay place, right? It is not a good area. It is very dangerous. There's a lot of things that happen there. So much stuff. So when I went to go see my mom at the hospital, because people donated to my Cash App, I would take the Cash App money. I would take an Uber there and I would take an Uber back every single day because I don't really want to go by bus. It was too much of a hassle, and to take the bus at night because I wanted to stay as much as I could to visit with my mom and then go home. So I did not want to go home at night by bus by myself because that's very dangerous, very scary area. I tried to spend as much time as I could with her because I would go home at 8. I would be like, well, I gotta go home. Then they gave me this gift card, right? It was $500 to Grubhub. So I would go home, I would order my dinner, and I would eat. And then in the mornings, I would go if I felt like it when I had money. And I would get a breakfast at the hospital or I would order breakfast like McDonald's. And I did that. So that lasted for a while. I was able to order food, and I didn't have to get food to cook because I had enough to eat for the time I was in the room. And then CVRC helped me, and they literally had me under an assumed name, which obviously means for my safety. I don't, like, that means I was still put in danger at that point. So all that happened, and to see someone that you care about say that, it hurts to literally say. And if it wasn't addressed towards me, again, like I said, I apologize, but to literally mention me and then run on like that and then say something like that, no one died. When they confided in me and told me about their family members, and I don't sit here and tell people, well, no one died. I would never do that to you. People know where to hit somebody where it hurts. They do. They just know that what hurts people. My mom lost 2 children. She literally had a stillborn, which was my sister. And sometimes I wish my sister did survive so I could talk to her, to have someone to talk to. I don't have siblings. Nobody understands this whole situation because once my mom passes away, I really don't have anyone. No, I don't have anyone. That was my only living sibling, and we did everything together. Everything. I don't know if social media got into their head and made them believe these things. I really don't know. The same social media that is putting people in danger, why are they involving themselves with that? Like I said, the Reddit is not accurate. Don't listen to that. They get taken down. It's just a lot. And I tell people all the time, I warned them of this. This is not just in the beginning, right? They started seeing all these positive things and they didn't believe me because people would come up when we were hanging out and be like, oh my God, TophiaChu, can't we have a picture? And they saw all this positive, and I said, well, that's some people. I said, but wait till the negativity starts coming. And I said, it's not always like that. And sure enough, they started slowly seeing it for themselves. They were like, you're right. Now I see that. It's not glorified. It's not a glorifying thing to be like, I understand that when people are around me, they think that's cool. And they're literally like, how do I say it? They are like, whoa, this is TikTok famous all the time. It didn't really bother me. It kind of did bother me because it's like, we're friends and all that, and you are excited that I'm TikTok famous, but sometimes you can't just do that and be like, she's TikTok all the time. Well, not all the time, some of the time, and it's just like, oh, here we go again. You just gotta be careful who you say things to, because you just invited that negativity. It's just, what go think about her? I'm not talking about that person. So some stuff happened, and that's why I basically addressed it. As far as the people that are interested in me on my Instagram and stuff like that, to be honest with you, my mindset is not there. I gotta get a house, or not a house, a place. I gotta work on my housing. I gotta get my mom out of that shelter. I'm not thinking about dating anybody, man or woman right now. I don't care if people think that I'm doing something for views or whatever the case may be. I was not supposed to share that because it is not safe for me, and that person knows that. And I was just hurt, and I had just slipped up, and it's out there. Now I can't take that back. And for safety reasons, I just gotta watch what I say until I have my own place and until I'm comfortable to be open. But no, to be honest with you, that is literally not a joke. I would not joke about that. People don't choose who, to be honest with you, someone is saying, oh, she's just doing it because she wanted the affection, or oh, no, I know the difference. That was far from it. It wasn't because, oh, I want anyone to, no. I had already liked someone before I was trying to understand it because I had already liked someone before that was a woman. And it wasn't an in love type thing, and I was just trying to understand that. And this whole thing happened which I'm not talking about the person, but I'm just saying no now 100%, but I gotta be careful because people see my stuff and it's not safe. And I gotta protect myself. I can't put myself in danger. And to literally say, oh, no, you don't choose. Nobody chooses to be that way. They don't choose to have to go through struggles and saying, well, you're not being hated for that. I have heard some recent things that I had told my friends. They know that there was some stuff that has been reiterated. There has been some stuff that has been talked about that in the Bible, saying that it was wrong, saying that you're going to go to hell. I have heard these things. I have heard them recently. And with my situation, I just couldn't say anything because my safety. I just couldn't say anything because I heard these things and I couldn't put myself in danger. And it hurt because my friend was a part of, and I'm a part of the community, right? Now I'm a part of the community, and hearing those things hurt me because I knew some people a part of the community, including myself. And I had to hear this, and you can't be too opinionated or I don't have a place to live. And that's just where that's at. And I have to protect my safety, or I could be under a bridge, which no one would care. I know no one, I don't want to be rude and say I know no one really cared. That's just how I feel because you wouldn't have said those things. And I know that that person's angry and they said things out of anger. And it's hard because I have to forgive them. I have no choice. The religious part of that, right? God says you have to forgive. It's hard to forgive someone that said that about someone that you spent a lot of your time with, that you always hung out with, because me and my sibling was close, and then to have to see that from someone that I thought cared, that hurts. And then they expect you to be okay. No, I'm not okay. And I'm in the same situation as you as far as being harassed. It's not as dangerous. But I don't want to be linked to very dangerous people. For my mental, for my safety, I just don't want a part of that. And I was there. I was like, well, not there, but in a sense of, oh, let me hear your problems. Let me hear what's going on. That didn't affect me. But to snap and say that I'm a part of that, that really hurts. In my eyesight, my eyes are not. I can't even see anything. I'm missing my vision because of the bright lights. Sometimes it happens. They did that before and they dilated my eyes, and I'm pretty sure that didn't work. As far as that goes, I can't answer anything too personal because, like I said in the last video that I posted, that I'm not talking about this situation. It's best not to continue to keep talking about it because it's not helping the situation. I feel like sometimes I need to address things, and if I don't say anything or get it out, it's just going to keep bothering me, and then I'm going to keep having these feelings, and then I'm going to hold them in. I have to get some of this stuff out. I have some stuff I can't address publicly, but that was not okay. That was really not okay to say that nobody really died. Coming from someone that I have to tell myself that I'll be okay, because if not, I'm told that I'm attention seeking and that I have to hold my feelings in and I can't be upset, that I have to bottle my feelings up. Because then they say, oh, here you are seeking attention, here you are baiting, right? People say online, oh, she's baiting her friend into coming back. How would you feel if someone said something really didn't happen that you went through? Someone that you cared about, that cared about you. And if it wasn't addressed towards me, I apologize. But it's the fact of going online and doing that. It was everywhere, all over TikTok. Everyone posted, the police, the news feed, everyone posted about it being on the news. The police was legit there with the car. We were in a spray painted car. How is that obsessive? Just literally defending myself. Defending myself is not being obsessive. You don't even know anything. That is not obsessive to be upset over someone that you cared about. Literally going online and saying that no one really died. I don't care. I'm going through something, right? I didn't take anything out on anyone, and I understand why to an extent, but to an extent, that's no excuse, right? That's like me hurting somebody and saying, oh, I'm sorry I hurt you. That was my mental health. That was my mental illness. You can't do that to somebody. And to not even apologize is crazy. You don't have to apologize. If it wasn't about me, again, and I'm not talking badly about this person, like I said, I'm not, but I'm sick and tired of people saying, well, you're being obsessive, you're being creepy, I'm just addressing what was said about me online. That is all. No amount of words is gonna ever make someone believe I didn't do something. No matter, and I'm not gonna let anyone talk bad about that person in those videos. I was deleting comments for a reason. Because no matter what is going on, no matter what situation is happening, I'm not gonna let anyone say anything. I saw someone say, oh, that was just them being paranoid, that's them being paranoid, Tophia, they're overly paranoid. You don't know the situation. Of course, people are going to be paranoid after what happened to them. I have stuff constantly happen to me and I'm paranoid. I've seen things happen. They would say, look, we would go somewhere, something would happen, I would see it. That's not, they have a right to be paranoid. They have a right. They have every right. Because I saw it with my own eyes. When everyone said, oh, this person is crazy. Oh, I don't think this stuff is really happening. I thought this stuff was happening. It wasn't a thought. I knew this stuff was happening. I was seeing it with my own eyes. When people was telling me, this person's crazy. You need to get away from this person. No, I just told people, I said, this person's not crazy. Oh, you just don't know. I know. I was seeing this stuff with my own eyes. And these were people that we all knew personally that was telling me this stuff. And I'm just like, I'm not going to listen to this. I'm not going to hear it. I don't need it. I don't need someone telling me who I should be friends with and who I shouldn't be friends with. I can be friends with who I want. Saying, oh, this friendship will never work. For me, I didn't care because if I care about someone, you're not going to tell me who to stop caring about. I will never stop caring about this person. They could be mad at me. They could hate me for the rest of their life. That's fine if they never talk to me, but I'm still not going to stop caring. I'm not going to be rude. I'm not going to go online. I'm not going to talk about people. I'm not going to talk badly about them. I'm not going to do any of that. Like I said in that last video, I'm not talking about the situation anymore, but I do want to reiterate. I'm not going to let anyone talk bad about this person. You will be blocked. You say something, you're going to get blocked. Something I don't like, you're going to get blocked. I hate when people go in the comment section and be like, she blocked me. Well, you shouldn't assume it's other people. You're assuming it's people that it's not. And you're making the situation worse than what it is. I literally asked TikTok to stop. They didn't listen. Now everybody's telling, not everybody, but most people are telling me don't deactivate my account. First of all, I cannot be responsible for putting someone in danger. If they believe my TikTok tried to hurt them in any way, why would I want to have my account up? I would have to deactivate it temporarily. Now, I'm not deactivating it for good, but I just can't. Like I said, if someone that I personally know and care about got hurt, they come first, not TikTok. Even if they hate me, even if they never talk to me again. I don't care if they never talk to me, if they never have contact, but I'm still gonna care. And that's not being creepy. If you can't call yourself a friend, if you don't care. That's not being creepy because I know the whole situation to an extent of what's going on, except up until what they posted on Facebook, which I didn't know that part. I know some of the stuff they posted in the post because I was told some of that stuff. But I feel horrible. I hear this and people getting away and no one's doing anything and nobody's helping, and it's like quicksand. You see someone sinking in quicksand, and it's not even that. In what I said, it had nothing to do with someone changing. I don't know if that's what you got out of what I said. To an extent, to be honest, some people have to acknowledge this whole situation was not a good situation for what was happening to them. My aspect was we would sit around the table late at night, crack jokes, have a good time, and then I started seeing this person. When we were hanging out, there was no problems. It just went away. all our problems were gone. We just didn't have to deal with that in the moment because we were having a good time. And my thought process, and I apologize if that was not okay, but my brother did that for people. He would try to make them happy or make them laugh with jokes and stuff like that. And I do apologize because I had tend to make jokes in situations that were kind of serious because that's all I was known, especially in my situation, was just laugh it away. I don't take everything as a joke. You know what I mean? I know the situation is serious and I was not taking it as a joke. I just wanted to make that person happy because everything was just crappy and it's a bad situation. And for me sitting here knowing that and not being able to help, and I have to take care of my own situation, myself and my mom. But I was like, well, everything is sort of good right now. I don't care if they hate me, if they never want to talk to me, if they believe I did something. This is, and here's the comment section, right? They want to start drama, they want to cause problems saying I'm talking about someone. I'm not talking about anyone badly. Can we stop? You guys love drama. You want to see people fight back and forth on social media. That is not going to happen. That is not what is going on. I don't care. They can get mad at me. They can say all they want. They could say whatever. I really don't care. It is not being creepy to care about someone who you're really... Like I said, my friend died on my birthday and I never contacted her. And the reason why I contact people every day is to make sure that they're okay and something didn't happen, or I get that call, oh, they died, and then I never talk to them again. God says we have to forgive people. I forgive them. Even if they don't believe my brother died, I don't know if that was directed towards me. I keep saying that again because there were some parts that were about me, and so I don't know who they were talking to. Even if they feel I harmed or tried to bring harm's way, I just have to... It's hard. The religion thing is hard. I'm trying not to give up because things always happen, and I don't feel like I deserve anything. And then this sets me back, and it's like, well, if God's there, then why did this happen? Constantly people leaving your life hurts, especially when you don't really have anybody anymore because your only sibling is dead. And people on the internet just come on here to judge you and say, well, you're saying this, you're saying that. They're judging everything I'm saying right now. And they're like, how are we going to get this to her to make it look like she was talking bad about her online? And then they're going to crop stuff. Then they're going to post. They're not going to post the whole live. And then it's going to be a whole situation. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I'm mentally exhausted. I just can't keep on fighting with people on the internet, whether I did things or not. Trolls are going to be trolls. And to see someone that you really care about turn into, I don't want to say a troll. And then for everyone to tell me that with my PTSD, my major depression, I'm supposed to be okay. And while I'm actively going to therapy and say, well, this was said, you're not supposed to show emotion. You're not supposed to cry because that's attention seeking. You're baiting people. I am being real and I am being honest. So what? Me being honest is an issue. I didn't say those things because I hoped they would care, because I already knew from that post. I already saw the tone of the post, right? They don't care. They don't care. Whatever I post online, they didn't care. It was not a post for them. I'm not posting for them. That's not really going to help my mental to post for someone that... And I'm not trying to be rude, but from what I interpreted from that post, it was not a good post at all. Nothing was nice. I'm not trying to... If things mend, if they don't, I just can't set myself backwards. You have to understand that I'm going to therapy. I just cannot be stuck. I can't be stuck trying to salvage something that may never be salvageable at this point. But I can't, the only thing I can do is respond with kindness. The only thing I can do is just speak about what pertains to me. That's the only thing I can do. I had to help someone because they took their night meds and they couldn't drive. They had to drive someone to the emergency room, and then I didn't get no sleep. And I had literally said that someone went to the emergency room. I had to say that because if I said I went to the emergency room, people are going to assume it's me and say, oh, you're doing this for attention. I literally have a responsibility. I have to go live every day. I have to have my bills paid. And I can't be live for 2 days, have some issues, and then people are worried. Somebody kept calling me on Instagram wanting to talk to me because they wanted to see if I was okay. They was worried. And there are people that really do care and are worried. And I can't have people worried because I have this issue and then I'm not live. I'm having mental health issues and then I don't go live for 2 days. I had to explain to people. Yes, I did because I said I acted out of emotion. Because the thing is that when you're going through a situation, you have to be an adult and talk to someone. Because I needed to let them know whatever happened had nothing to do with me. They said my crew and TikTok. I don't want to be a part of whatever is putting them in danger. If they want to believe that, that's fine. I'm not doing it. You guys do not understand. If someone is saying something and I walk out, that could put me in danger. And I don't know the unknown dangers of what's out there. I'm sorry. But that's careless, that's thoughtless. When people showed up, wherever we was at, and they were asking for pictures all the time, not once did I ever blame them or ever said, well, people are showing up every time we're somewhere. That's very suspicious. I could have easily blamed them, and I don't blame them because I know my situation. And I understand people snap, they say things when they're angry that they probably really don't mean. Oh, look, a clown. Thank you. It wasn't because of me, because I didn't do anything. You guys know, look at my posts. All I posted was lip sync videos. All I did, and I only hung out with one person to really be honest, and I have proof of that, and you guys know that. Me and this person are the only people that I hung out with. I don't talk to anybody else. I don't do anything. I literally went live at the freaking Bosque, at the Tingley Beach. I literally went live at Tingley Beach. People literally saw me go to the gym. What are you talking about that it's my fault? You just want to use someone that is depressed and having mental health issues to blame them and say it's their fault when it's not. To make them feel like they did something they didn't do. And I know 100% I didn't do anything. There are cameras that proves that I'm here. There's cameras. I have literal proof. The only time I go somewhere is when I want to get out of the house. I literally went for a walk to the park. I literally do physical activities because I'm trying to lose weight. I'm so sick and tired of people playing into a situation and making it bigger than what it is. Thank you for the gift. I like that clown. It's funny. Anyways, I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I don't want to talk about the situation anymore. Like I said, that video was the last video I'm posting. I'm not talking badly about anyone. I'm not saying anything if they get mad at me for what I say. I'm not doing the back and forth. I'm exhausted. I don't have time to be thinking about relationships and all these women that comment on my posts and that want me. That's not move on with your life and date these. No, my thought process is not that at all. It was, in a sense, like I said, if something happened, it happened, and it didn't, and that's okay. You can't expect someone to be okay and be like, well, you have to suck it up. You can't have no feelings. Of course I was a little hurt. It was nothing against you, and I know what you said. And I didn't mean it to be like that. And yes, it got blown out. There's like so much that I can't really say anything because like I said, I'm not addressing that. So that's it. That's where we're going to leave it. I don't care if that person contacts me. I'm not posting this stuff because I want people to feel sorry for me. This is my real life. This is what I'm going through. I'm having terrible nightmares. I'm having trouble sleeping. It's just a lot. I don't know. I probably had to get medication for that, and I don't want to be medicated, but what am I going to do? It's either that or not have a peaceful sleep. I got to work on myself. I'm going to therapy. I meet with the therapist next week. My nose itches. I meet with the therapist next week. So there's that. Nobody was talking about anyone, so stop. And you're getting blocked. It has no. And that's another thing that I hate is when people tell me to shut up. I'm not supposed to defend myself. Anyways, I'm gonna finish my Raising Cane's. This cane sauce is so good. Do I don't go to therapy? That makes no sense. I do go to therapy. I meet with a therapist every week. I met with the therapist this week, and I'm meeting with the therapist next week. I am meeting with a therapist, by the way. This bread is good. Like, I don't know if it's garlic bread. I don't really like garlic bread, but this is good. I always do that sometimes. I used to write with my pinky up. I had to learn how to write. I always have eaten loud. I didn't. You telling me to keep my private business off of social media? I just literally told you, Lauren, do you not learn or do you not listen? I saw something that I was being accused of and I reacted out of emotion. And I posted those posts to defend myself, which I shouldn't have, but I was upset. That's what you do when your emotions are high. You react out of emotion. I didn't put anything on social media. Somebody else said something because of something I said on a live. I was hurt. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it to talk about someone. They said tell people whatever you want to tell them about me. I don't know. I don't even know. Well, I know one thing that they addressed that I said. I am not upset. Yes, it may have seemed I was like, the way that they made it seem, which I don't want to keep bringing this up because it's not helping the situation. And I'm tired because people keep wanting to try to some way sneak in to bring up this thing. It was not me being upset because of no relationship. There's so much to this that I'm not even going to explain because if I say more than what I'm stopping myself from saying because it's not going to help the situation if I say anything more. I don't need to explain anyone to anybody. No one needs to understand the situation. It was not that. It was beyond someone just being nice to me for me to like someone. I just don't like anybody that is being nice to me. That just doesn't make sense. Nobody knows nothing. Nobody's gonna know nothing. And I'm not saying anymore. I'm not gonna let my ego get the best of me and get mad and be like, well, you know what? I need to, sorry. I don't care. Chew with your mouth closed. I don't care. I'm gonna say what I gotta say. Anyways, I did get mad. And that's what messed it all up because I said something to try to prove to people I don't need to prove anything to anyone. I'm not gonna get mad and spill something. It's just gonna make me get mad and then I'm gonna say something to prove to people because I'm angry and I don't have anything to prove to anyone. I don't need to prove anything to anybody except prove things to myself. The only people that knows is that person and myself. If nobody wants to believe anything, that's on them. I'm not gonna sit here and try to convince someone else I didn't do. Blame everyone but myself. First of all, why are you telling me I should blame myself for something I have no involvement in? Oh my god, if I have to explain this one more time, I'm gonna explode, I'm gonna flip out, and I'm trying not to flip out. No.
Sorry if I said that. I didn't mean to say about depressed or anything.
No, I was not being loud. We're just having a conversation. And I don't want people to hear. That's all I was gonna say before I said I was gonna snap. Being at the place that I'm at, I don't have time for any of that. You guys just want me to apologize for things I didn't do or don't have control of saying. You're not blaming yourself, you're blaming it on others. I didn't even blame that on her. What other people are doing is not her fault. To literally sit here and tell me that I'm not blaming what people are doing to put her family in danger on her. Why would you say that? I didn't blame anybody. I said I don't have anything to do with that. I don't. Like, what do you want me to do? Blame myself for something I don't have control over? People keep telling me, including the therapist said, and it was about a situation I brought up, and he said, you can only control what? You can only control your situation. You can't control other people's situation. He's right. You guys would love for me to apologize for something I didn't do. You loved to blame me for things that I didn't do because you don't like me, and that's okay. Why am I gonna apologize for something I didn't do? If people are catching me at these places, the gym, then how am I? That doesn't make any sense. It's documented everywhere. I wanted a social media career, but just because I wanted a career doesn't mean that I'm telling people go ahead and put people in danger and harass people. No way, shape, or form did I say that. No way, shape, or form did I say it was okay to do that. It doesn't matter about my social media career. That doesn't give you the right to do anything. Because she posted on Facebook, she said on Facebook that she said your crew and TikTok. The only person from my knowledge, which I only know, the only person that she knew that had TikTok was me. That's how I know. I know some of the people she had involved in her life are they're OF models. They post that type of content. They're not TikTok people. The only TikTok person that she was involved with was me. So that's how I know that, because she said TikTok. She said your TikTok crew. I don't know who did what. I just know that because it was in the post, and the only person that she knew that had a TikTok was me. It's obvious. It's not rocket science. It's not E equals MC squared. Albert Einstein, hello. You can put two and two together. If I know I'm the only person that has TikTok, and the person that is being mentioning saying that people are doing these things from TikTok, and I heard something recently that some people were giggling, laughing, trying to take pictures. I specifically asked people to stop taking pictures. Nobody wants to listen. And then here I am getting blamed because nobody wants to listen. And I wasn't with them in that moment. I was here. I was being told this. And it's places that they go. And I'm not even around this person. I'm not even hanging around this person. I was home. Why should my page suffer because people don't know how to act properly? Why should I have to delete my account because I'm here? I wasn't even out there. I wasn't even with that person that day. And I'm hearing things, and I've politely asked people to stop. And they've just been so gracious, and they were so gracious and kind enough to be like, I don't want to offend you. They kept telling me, I don't want to offend you. I don't want to do something, but your fans are going to cause me to punch them. And I said, punch them. Because at this point, I cannot control what someone does. And I'm tired of someone having to reserve themselves and act polite for me. And it was bothering me because someone needed to learn a lesson. And I really wish someone would have got punched to learn their lesson. Because I was tired of her having to be polite and kind and reserved just so I don't get what I would get online just because she punched someone. And I don't care about, at that point, I didn't really care about my reputation because it was not about me. If I care about someone and people from my online are bothering you, hit them. I really don't care. Because at that point, it's not about being polite. I have been too nice. I've been too polite to people. I've kindly asked people to stop. I've literally responded with respect. I literally wasn't rude because I'm trying to change how I respond to people. I literally have not provoked people to do that. I asked people to stop. Nobody wanted to listen. And then now that it gets so serious, everyone wants to sit here and be like, oh, now look at what you guys did. You pushed it too far. You don't want her to have people in your lives. Now you're ruining things. Where was all of this caring when it was going on? And I politely asked people to stop and to have to reserve themselves and tell me, I don't want to hurt one of your fans. Those are not my fans. Those are not supporters of mine. They are also harassing me. And I do not want to involve myself with people who are doing that. They are not a representation of me. And I don't like that at all. That's not who I am as a person. and they don't represent me. I don't want people walking around thinking my supporters are harassing people. That's not a representative of who I am as a person. Caring about someone is not being creepy. You don't even know the whole situation. And to keep doing things, I'm here. And like, I can't do it. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I'm tired of having to come on here and keep saying something and then trying not to keep repeating things because it's putting people in danger. And I gotta be mindful of what I say, and I gotta watch what I say. On top of it, nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cared. Now all of a sudden they want to act like they care. It has nothing to do with that. I just literally said it was putting people in danger. Where did I say something about, oh, she doesn't like me and say, well, she doesn't like you? That's not what I'm talking about. You're not listening. Nobody is listening. It's going in one ear and out the other, spaghetti for brains. It literally has nothing to do with that. I just said you're putting people in danger. You know, I'm not even going to argue with people. I'm not going to argue back and forth. I'm not going to do it. People are just trying to get me angry and it's not going to work. People are just not, they're just, selective hearing is what they're doing. They're doing selective hearing. I'm not arguing with myself. I just literally mentioned that it was putting someone in danger and asking people not to take pictures, and they on purpose said that she doesn't like you, so stop. That's not, my reasoning for doing everything was not because I wanted someone to like me. I'm still going to do nice things for nice people no matter if someone likes me or not. I don't do things to get a relationship out of anything. So don't even start with that one either. I'm so sick and tired of people making a situation that it isn't. You don't know the whole situation. You don't know nothing. You just involve yourself because it's drama and you love the drama, so you eat it. Eat up the drama. You sip your tea and you think this is jokes. This is people's serious lives that are being messed with. This is not funny. This is not something that you laugh at. I'm sick and tired of people trying to make it seem like they care about people while causing people's mental health. That's what pisses me off. Telling people to seek help. Here I am going to therapy, and here you are just undoing what therapy is supposed to be helping me with because you want to keep this conversation going so you can say, look, there she is, talking about her. There she is talking about you. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not talking about anyone. I have a right to address certain things if I want to. It wasn't just trying to have a carefree time and going to blow money at the casino. I was hoping that maybe I made enough money to bury my brother. Yes, was that the wrong thought process? It was the wrong thought process to think that maybe I could make $4,000 and be one of those lucky people that hits big so I could bury my brother because, and also that helped me to keep my storage going. That literally helped keep my storage going when I couldn't afford it. I have so many issues going on with my mental health for people to tell me to get up and go to work so I can just break down in the middle of work. That makes literal absolutely no sense. Nobody cares about bettering because when I'm talking about, and someone literally put it in the comment section again, here I am telling you guys I'm going to therapy and here you are just continuing to try to mess with me. And I'm sick of it. I've asked people to stop. What literally annoys me more than anything is that people harass someone and then not take accountability and say it's my fault. I wasn't there, so you're not going to take accountability for that? You're going to say it's okay, whatever. I guess so. I don't think that's okay. It's not $3K. What I said, that was my asking price and they didn't give me my asking price. So there's that. I wasn't going to buy 2 cars. I was actually going to buy a car, but they're only paying me in $800 increments. So I'm only getting paid $800. I'm not getting paid the full $2,000. I have to make another video. They asked me when am I going to be able to make another video, and I said I would let them know. I have a lot going on, and I'm going to therapy. So I can't buy a car right now because I'm not getting paid the full amount. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, guys. Sorry, I had to serve me some ice. I needed the restroom. And I didn't say I was getting 2 cars. I said I was getting 1, by the way. Why would I get 2 cars? I only need 1. So anyways, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. So I had to go get me a Dr. Pepper. I'm trying not to break my nail. Once I get paid, I'm gonna go probably get my hair dyed. I drank water today, too. This whole thing of water I drank today. No, I don't drink Mountain Dew anymore. No, I drank the water earlier. I drank water earlier. I'm not mixing it with water. It's all gone. And my side is hurting too. I did drink water. That's not why my side is hurting. Last time that was a sign that I had a pericardial effusion. But I don't know. And also when it's cold, sometimes I get a side pain. And this is another thing that I want to talk about. I think, well, I don't know, my ankle feels fine now, but I thought I might have injured it because it was hurting to walk on it. At the emergency room, it hurt to walk on it, and then today I felt it, and then it just went away, so I don't know. Uh, yeah, everyone says I look like my mom. It's not even that loud. No, I didn't go to the emergency room for that. I just explained why I went to the ER. It wasn't for me. I didn't go to the ER. That someone else was in pain. Somebody needed me. They needed an accountability person. Well, not an accountability person. How do I say this? They needed a passenger with them because they took their night meds, and they would have fell asleep at the wheel because they took their night meds. So I had to make sure they didn't fall asleep. So I had to go with them, and then I had to wait because they were waiting to see what happens, but it was getting too late. So the person was like, you guys could leave. So we didn't get home till 1, and I was able to go to sleep. But yes, I had to go because someone took their night meds, and I had to make sure that it was a safe drive there. That was all. I didn't go to the emergency room for myself. I said someone. Because obviously I'm not going to drop names. I'm not going to tell people who went where. I had to say someone because I didn't want people assuming that I went to the emergency room and I didn't go, and then saying I'm doing things for attention. No, I had to go because someone took their night meds and the medication makes them sleepy. Try and catch up on sleep. Cause we didn't get back until 1, and I was already tired. And I was gonna try to go live, but I was like, I can't even stay awake. So I just climbed into bed. I'm gonna go to sleep. It hit 2 o'clock, and I was on my phone, and then I just closed my eyes and went to sleep. No, they weren't under the influence. I don't have a driver's license, guys. I can't drive. They were capable of driving. That's what I'm telling you. That wasn't the issue. It was because they might have fallen asleep at the wheel. I can't drive. I don't have a driver's license. It was an emergency. Never mind. I'm not even, because we were going to say, well, why didn't they do this when someone needed to get to the emergency room? They were in really bad pain, and they said, can you please get this person up so we can go? That was all. I don't need to explain anything further. I don't know why people are questioning that. I just went along to make sure nothing happened during the ride. I'm exhausted, I'm tired. I went today and I'm drained now. Why I didn't go today to the emergency room? Because we didn't get back till today because we got back at 1 a.m. And I went to sleep, and I didn't fall asleep till 2 because I was on my phone. And it's not, and to be honest with you, when I say these things, it's not for attention. And I'm really going to tell you the truth. I'm probably going to go lay down and go to sleep, but I'm afraid to go to sleep. I want to stay awake. I don't want to go to sleep. I'm scared. Every time I go to sleep, I have a nightmare. Every time I go to sleep, I wake up in pain, and then I'm sobbing my eyes out because I remember something, and I'm reminded, and I keep having these dreams, these nightmares, and it's tough on me, and I have to talk to somebody about it and see if I can get some medication. And I don't need sleep medication. That's not what I need, but I keep having these nightmares, and I don't know if medication will stop that, because the problem is not sleeping. I just force myself to stay awake because I'm afraid of going to sleep. I freaked out. So I went somewhere to do something so I can get paid. And I almost said no. I almost just got up and left and didn't even continue. I was like, forget the money, because my anxiety, I don't know if it's anxiety or what it was, I freaked out so badly that I almost said, no, I gotta get up and go. I just was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be alone. Oh my God, this person left me. oh my God, what if, and it was like thinking of the future, and I can't help that. And it's not because I'm being creepy or crazy. I don't have my brother. If something happens to my mom, I really don't have someone in my life. And there was something that happened today that, no, yesterday. And for me personally, people could say things and they don't really mean it. And I'm just afraid of having another friend in my life and then they just leave. And then I know I shouldn't speak things into existence, because when I say that, that's kind of speaking it into existence. But I freaked out. I was panicking. I was trying to calm myself down because my breathing started getting heavy. And it was just like, to myself, because I didn't want to freak these people out. And these people think that it has, then I don't get paid. And I was like, well, it's not that I want the extra cash, but you need to get some things. And then I tried to think positive and bring myself back to reality, because I thought about the stuff we used to do, and then recently, and then that affected me, because I'm like, I'm not going to be able to do these things. They're gone out of my life forever. What do I do? I can't get this person back. Oh my God, I was panicking, and then I'm like, I'm going to be alone. I'm not going to have anybody. I can't talk to anyone, even though I have some people I can talk to. I was just so freaked out. My brain was not functioning. My depression was getting to me. I was feeling abandoned. I was feeling lost. It was dark. I was in a dark room. That's how I could feel it. It was heavy. I was alone. Nobody was there. Even though there were people around me, no one was there. I thought about the stuff with my mom, and I'm trying to have the responsibilities. I'm not trying to make people think that I care more about a certain person over my mom, but it's hard. I already have to deal with the situations with my mom. I've already addressed that. I've called the shelter. I said, hey, no one needs to be treating my mom a certain way. I spoke up, but I was afraid even me saying something like that could cause her to lose her housing. So I had to be mindful and think, how do I respond to these people without snapping? And I'm crying for help. I just need help. And I talked to someone about my mom's situation, and they're going to try to work on that and help. I'm only one person. I can do so much. And I was trying to help my mom too in this whole other situation. And it's just not good. I'm not doing things for attention. I don't know. I said something concerning to somebody. So the day that I saw that Facebook post, I just broke, and I had said something to somebody that was concerning, and they notified someone, and I was gonna go take a walk downtown, and I was asked to come back, that I was not allowed to leave because they had to talk to me, and that really upset me even more, because now I'm stuck at home, or I'm stuck, because people say, you don't have a home, so whatever. And I ended up getting stuck, and it was a misunderstanding, and I explained what I said, and I couldn't leave, and that really made me more depressed, because I just wanted to go walk. I just wanted to get out, because I don't want to be home. I don't want to be here. Like, my mind is telling me just run away. I just see the scene of Forrest Gump, when, you know, that scene in Forrest Gump where he ran and he kept running, and he was running. That's me. I just was like, I just really wanted to get my stuff and just leave and not notify anyone and just go, because it was too much. My mom being bullied, that whole situation, and I can't tell people online, well, I can, but I don't have to tell people every little thing that involves, and not being able to do nothing, and the housing situation and the whole thing that just recently happened. And it's like someone made a statement, and I was gonna say something. Oh, because of what happened to me. Being in a car, and we were in the car, and she had said, don't you have trauma being in the car? And I was gonna say something, but I said, no, that's negative, and that's not something I need to be saying. That I don't fear if something happens to me, because I won't harm myself. I'm just saying that. I'm not trying to harm myself. But the reason why I don't fear something happens to me is because I hope something happens to me, because that was my thought process. I was not going to harm myself. I was like, well, if something happens to me, at least I didn't do it to myself, and someone else did it. and you good, I won't be here. It's not me harming myself. That's just like my depression and my thoughts. And I was working on that, and I really didn't. That was a thought that came to my mind because of my depression. I had to rethink that. And anytime I say something, I'm tired of people telling me I can't say something, being silenced, being told. I don't want to alert people to think I'm doing that. No, I'm not gonna hurt myself. Don't worry. That's just my thought process from this point forward. Because to be honest with you, I don't even know. No, I don't want attention. I just literally said that. What I was saying was that yes, I did have a thought that I said out loud, and people got concerned. I was trying to sleep, and someone woke me up and said, "I'm just trying to make sure my friend's alive." Cause like I'm trying to censor because of TikTok, but I did say I felt like dying. That's what I said, because that was my thought process. I'm dealing with this stuff with my mom. I'm having to deal with this. And someone that I truly cared about telling people online that they don't think someone died, and I don't know if it pertained to me, that affected me way more than I could imagine because I'm still grieving my brother and trying to process that. And I can't confide in people. I can't talk to people on the internet because then they turn around. Then they try to say you're seeking attention right now. And it doesn't, it makes me feel like, oh, well, I'm not gonna, you know what? My depression went away. Sorry guys, I no longer have depression anymore because you said so. If that's attention seeking, I'm not gonna cry anymore. My sadness went away because you said so. I'm healed. So from now on, whenever I'm going through something, I'm just gonna act happy and smile all the time and make people think I'm okay when I'm not. I'm just gonna keep things to myself. I'm not gonna tell anybody anything because I don't need to tell anybody anything, because when I tell people things, it gets worse. I'm just not gonna talk to anybody more. I'm just gonna bottle up my feelings, and then if something happens, because my feelings build up and I don't take care of myself, I'm just so sick and tired of people telling me that what I need to do, treating me like I'm supposed to be this type of person, like I'm supposed to change who I am, that I've been like this. On social media, I'm an emotional person. I cry all the time. I can't help it. I can't help that things happen to me. I can't help the fact that I'm supposed to be okay because people say so. You're not okay. You're going through things, but you want me to be okay. You want me to be unharmed. You want me to be unscathed. You want me to feel better. You want me to not go through all of these things. And I know I'm not the only one that is hurting. But still, I know that. I know there are other people hurting, but no one understands what goes on inside of my brain concerning the fact that I have to live with trauma every single day of my life. I've always had something happen to me. My friends always leave me, and then people saying, well, it's your fault, and then my depression eats me alive. I can't process this. I can't deal with this, and I'm struggling. I'm really struggling. It's eating me alive. And then I have to keep my feelings inside. And then people, and I'm talking about trolls, the people online in my comment section saying, well, you're baiting people, you're trying to make people feel sorry. I don't know. Today I was just really shaking badly. I don't know. I have to talk to a doctor about that. No, I gotta get on some medication that is probably gonna give me some side effects and mess me up. Probably kill me a lot faster, because some medication has slight side effects. So now I gotta take medication for that, and I really don't want to be medicated for something that is gonna harm my body, because I had heart surgery and I don't want to put myself through having my body harmed. I just don't want to go through having side effects. I was shaking today because I had that panic attack or whatever it was, and I was just slightly, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna be low, oh my god. And then I just kept dwelling and dwelling on the fact that I'm never gonna see this person, we're never gonna be able to do anything again. All these plans that we had about traveling are gone. My brain is just not where it needs to be. And yes, I am talking to a therapist. Yes, I am gonna have to talk to him about that. And we're gonna have to have a discussion about what's been going on, the nightmares and all that. Yes, I will tell him about all of this next week. There's only so much that I can handle. I'm a human being just like everybody else. And if I break down in public, or cry, someone's gonna feel me and be like, oh look, we caught her in the wild crying. And then when I come online, you have to let it out. And just because something happened recently does not mean that I'm supposed to be okay. I'm supposed to just get over it. It's going to take a while for me to process this. It's going to take a while for me to process my brother being passed away. And understanding, trying to have compassion for people. And I'm always going to have compassion for people. For someone who literally said that, and then I had to walk with my head held high. That is it. That is all. I don't want to keep talking about this. I just need to be open and honest with people. I don't want people to say, well, you say social media is a job and you're not online. I can't get out of bed. It's debilitating. This beat me down. Not only is it beating me down, what's going on with my mom, I'm being beaten down. I'm being beaten down and having to grieve my brother. I know it's been almost a year. I'm not going to stop grieving him. I saw something horrific. Well, I woke up to something horrific that had happened to him. I didn't. I just remember the last thing my brother said is he wanted my mom's cheese dip that I make. And he didn't even get to have that. No one knows what it's like to have someone that you truly cared about just say those things. And I know I tell myself they were angry. And I have to forgive them even though it hurts. And I'm like, I should be angry, I should snap, I should go off. But if I do that, it's only gonna make things worse. And I don't want to do that. I'm not that person. I keep telling myself, you gotta be kind to people. You gotta remember why you're kind to people. But it's like, I was told these things that wasn't true because it hurts. If it was all true, why? But then I remind myself they didn't mean it because they were angry when they said it. You know, and when I say told things that wasn't true, the caring part about being a friend and caring, but then turning around and saying those nasty things online. It was other stuff that I don't even know who was being addressed what, because there was a whole long paragraph and a bunch of people were being addressed. I'm trying to keep calm, but every time I think about things, then I cry, and I'm told to be okay when I'm not okay. I know everyone's going through something. I know. I'm tired of being told that I have to be okay. I'm tired of being told that I'm not supposed to be upset. I'm tired of someone getting mad because I was hurt and I said something when I was hurt, but not being caring and understanding and being like, hey, having a conversation that I just wish my friend was alive because at least she understood. And like I said, anytime she was mad, she still contacted me and she never was like, see ya. And just having to deal with all of that and just processing that while people make this into a spectacle and it's like just some joke. I'm just gonna finish my soda and get some sleep. I'm just trying to process everything, guys, and I'm just trying to breathe. I'm just trying to go through my emotions. It's a lot. Whenever something happens, it really affects me. It's not for attention. I got depression. I got a lot of other things. I shouldn't have to keep mentioning I have depression. When something happens when you have depression, that does not mean you're okay. You have to understand with depression, it affects you 10 times worse because I'm unmedicated. That's the thing. I don't want to have to go through side effects. Depression medication makes you gain weight and all this other stuff that I don't want to have to go through. And it's my choice. And if I want to suffer in my disease, then I'll have to suffer in my disease. Is it going to help? No, being medicated is probably the best option. But I don't want to go through all these side effects and having to figure out what medication works, what doesn't. There are so many bad side effects to medications. It's helpful, but there's side effects. Every time, and here's one thing I don't like, anytime someone is hurting, here, take a pill. Oh, you broke your leg, take a pill. Oh, you're depressed, take a pill. Oh, you know, and I understand that helps some people get through their depression. Oh, you're in pain, here, take a pill. This pill will help fix you. This pill will help make you better. Because with every medication, I don't have to know depression medication has side effects. You have to really look into the medication you're having. No medication is without side effects. Some of them are not severe. Some of them may cause unalignment. But I am telling you, with any medication, there's always side effects. You can't take a medication without having no side effects unless it's a medication like Advil or Tylenol, right? Or some type of medication that you don't, if you're experiencing side effects, you need to go to the doctor, right? But a lot of these medications have slight side effects. Depression medication is one of those medications that has weight gain and small side effects that are not harmful, but they really affect you. I don't need to be having side effects. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm just saying. But no, like to say you're not going to experience side effects, you cannot take a medication without not experiencing some side effects. I know that's why I talk to a doctor, but I'm not going to take a medication and take a risk or a chance of having side effects, because medications are always going to have side effects. It doesn't matter. Sorry, the 20% battery came up. It's not severe side effects, but you are going to have side effects. That's how medication works. There's no medication, like depression medication or any medication that is to help you with something, that you're not going to have side effects. You are going to have side effects. It's not, oh, well, you ain't going to have side effects. Not the severe ones, but you're still going to have side effects. You can't control that. Even if I talk to a doctor, I'm still going to experience a slight side effect. And I know they're going to tell me that, well, you can take this medication, but it's going to have this side effect. Any medication is going to have at least one side effect that you have to have. That's it. That's all. And if I'm not saying it correctly, I already know. My mom had a friend, and I know this is not everybody. I'm not basing it off of this. But my mom had a friend that took depression medication, and it made her more depressed. I'm not saying that's going to happen to me. But for me personally, I don't want to be stuck on a medication for the rest of my life to make me a fully functioning person, to be like, I need a pill to make me happy. That to me makes no sense. I understand people said I shouldn't base my happiness off of other people. I was going through something. I had just lost my brother. I had met this person at a shelter. We hung out and all my problems went away. And I wasn't putting them away like, oh, I don't have problems. My problems didn't matter because I was out there. And it wasn't because I wanted to have a good time. I just didn't want to sit and cry and be upset and be hurt and reminded that my brother's not here. When I was going to round one, when I was going to Top Golf, when the whole event thing with Al Hurricane Jr., and my problems, it just made me happy that I had a purpose to get out of bed and just go do something with someone. And even if I didn't have money to spend, and even when I did, it was just that for a moment, it was like, this just made me happy and made me see that there was things that I could do that were positive to keep my mind off of things. And I do understand that they were having problems. And yes, they offered to go out places, and I offered to tell them, let's go somewhere, because I didn't want them to think about their problems. It wasn't because I didn't want them to care about their problems. I wanted to take on the qualities that my brother had when his friends were going through something. When his friends were sick and they had no medication, he would DoorDash and make the extra money, even though he was in the car, to buy his friends medication. Nobody said anything about people not loving being on medication. What is that point? You can take medication if you want. I'm not telling you not to take medication. Please do not say that or I will block you. That was not what happened. And you're getting blocked. To literally say everyone's priority was just messed up. No, because they did tell me that they couldn't go out and do things, that they couldn't go out a lot anymore because they had stuff going on. Use your common sense. When they did go out, we didn't go out a lot. That's what I was saying. But For me, when I message a person, they assumed that I was messaging them so we could go out somewhere. No, it did seem like that because in a lot of the times we went out a lot. Message and then we would plan something and go out, yes. But it wasn't like that, so I'm not going to let you talk badly about that person because if you do, you're going to get blocked. That was not the case. They literally told me that they had to focus on their situation, that they couldn't go out. That's it, that's all. I don't need anyone to be saying nothing. Don't talk about that person like that or you will get blocked. I'm just saying for me personally, I tried to be what my brother was. Whenever his friends were sad, he would make jokes and make them feel happy. And that's what I wanted to do. I didn't know anything else, guys. I didn't know anything else to make the situation better except crack jokes and just try to help people forget about their problems for a moment. No, I didn't care if I felt good. As long as that person was happy, that's all that mattered. And it was not about saying somewhat, I was not trying to say about changing. The whole thing was, is seeing this situation affect someone to the point where their mental health was being messed with and there were certain things going on and then being stressed out all the time. And it was not about seeing a whole other different person slightly. And I'm not saying the person changed. It was the things that was happening to them that was causing these problems. I remember when we stayed up late, which obviously, there's reasons because we don't live or stay in the same place, which I'm not trying to say we should. I'm not saying anything. But I'm just saying we would crack jokes, we would stay up late, I remember one time we stayed up past curfew because, well, not curfew. It was the TV went off at 10, but I remember one time we were playing like all these types of music. It was Sleep Token, it was Evanescence, it was Panic at the Disco, Paramore, all of this stuff. And I remember there was a group of us that were sitting at the table and it was some of the workers and we were all just enjoying the music and I missed that. And it kind of made me sad because it's like I see this person just trying the best that they can, just trying to protect their family and trying to make sure their family is safe and having their mental messed with. And people trying to do this so they could claim mental illness and they could, and I'm not trying to say someone's business. I don't understand what's the point of breaking someone to have mental health problems. What is the reasoning? Turning this person to make them stressed, to make them freak out, to make them have and then to sit back and act like that. That's not okay. Who cares? I'm not getting blasted on a Facebook post because I'm saying something. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about this whole situation because I do need to explain that part because I don't know if they were addressing me in the post because they said something about changing. I don't care. I'm not telling someone to change who they are. I literally said I accepted you as you are. I didn't care about your situation. Well, I do care what is happening to you. That's not what I mean for people to understand. They were telling me that they didn't want to say anything that was going on because it was not healthy for me and that they felt it was affecting me. And I was like, no, that's what I'm here for, is to listen to whatever problems you have. I didn't care what was going on. It was not affecting me because that's what I'm here for, is to listen. You needed somebody to talk to because there were certain things going on. And obviously they were venting to me and I didn't care that they were venting to me because that's what I was there for. I'll listen. Just like I said, well, I tell you my problems, so you don't say, hey, we vent to each other. That was it. That was all. I'm just literally stating these things. I just want to be 100% honest. I was not obsessive. You're getting blocked. You don't know the whole situation. What was put in that Facebook post was not because I was obsessive. What was put in the Facebook post, and I don't know if it was addressed to me, is that situations that had happened recently was because of me. That had nothing to do with being obsessive. I literally did not do anything to anyone. Sorry. I'm sorry if I look a little funny. I am exhausted. I'm tired. I'm gonna finish my Coke and go to bed. I'm tired of people assuming that I'm creepy and being obsessive. Nobody understands me as a person, and if you don't know me as a person, then you don't know me. I even did that with people that I knew online. That's what I do. I care about people and make sure they're okay. That's not being obsessive. I don't want to have to wake up and hear something happened and I didn't get to talk to that person. No one knows the trauma of what I had to deal with because my friend passed away and she wanted me to call her and I didn't call her. That's just my thought process. It's not about being obsessive, it's about being a caring person and making sure someone's okay. If I don't reach out to someone when they're having issues and I just say, hey, I'm not gonna care, and if I don't message and say something, then my thought process is they probably think I don't care because I didn't reach out. Nobody said they owed me anything. That's not what I'm talking about. Again, you're just trying to twist my words and what I say. Yes, I've already talked to the therapist about that. No, you're not even understanding. My friend that passed away was the only friend I had in real life because I never made friends. When I had friends in middle school and I had some friends in high school, after I graduated high school, I never made friends to say that it took my friend dying to be a decent friend. No, I am a good friend, but I never made friends because I was bullied, so I kept to myself. In high school, they tried to bully me. That didn't work. When my brother had made friends with her, then we became friends. I didn't have friends at all. And when my brother made friends with someone where we were staying at, he made friends with him. I made friends with him. And that was it. Made friends with that person. But my life was with my family the whole time. My dad had mental illness. He had bipolar. I was not going out to look for friends. I was set to be alone for the rest of my life because I was not expecting to have any friends because I don't go out and actively look for friends. I didn't really want friends at all. To be honest, I just got in this mindset of I have no friends. I don't want any friends. I only had online friends. And that was it. That was all. I was not out to set to have friends. But I know I'm a good friend. But I feel like sometimes if I don't explain anything, it gets worse. I know I don't have to explain myself to nobody. I do have friends, but it's just a thought that they're gonna leave. So I just gotta have that in the back of my head, even though I know I shouldn't, because that's speaking it to existence.
Don't forget to subscribe for more videos.